engaging, enlightening. The Ken and Mike Show.
Get the right code and all that stuff. We're going to
Check 1 2. I'm on.
Yep, we're live. That's right. Cool.
All right.
And now,
Yeah, buddy. All right.
Miguel.
What a rocky night.
Yeah, I'm a little spiked up a little bit. Maybe I don't know. You can check
That's
it
all
out.
right. We're a little hot, but you know what?
Yeah.
I don't mind being hot because I'm not told I'm hot any other time.
Hey, I think you're hot. Bag that,
So,
dude.
Kenny, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back.
I missed you last week.
I know.
But I know you rocked it.
All right.
So a little technical stuff, right? But it was
Yeah,
awesome.
we had some technical issues like we're having tonight as
Yeah.
well, but I think we're going to sort through it, fly
Yeah.
right through it.
Hey,
And
tell me a little bit about last week, though. What was the guest's? What was her stuff?
What was her name? Cataline.
Okay.
Karen Cataline.
Okay.
Cataline. I don't remember how to pronounce it. It was actually.
Is she Canadian?
No, she's actually from New York City.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were talking all about the the agenda of the left, and I don't think we really need to get into the meat because we all understand what the agenda of the left is.
Yeah. She's right on our page, though, huh? I mean, as far as.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I need to just ask you, everything worked out okay? And we told our listeners, you might have had our viewers that you might have had a little bit of an emergency, but
Yes. Thankfully. Oh yeah. Knocked it and came back. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's all good. Hey, by the way, guys, you are listening to the Ken and Mike Show.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in tonight. It has been.
We are here. It's been crazy.
It has been crazy.
Kenny
yeah.
was working late tonight.
Yeah.
Had some stuff going on. I had some stuff going on, and
But
we made it.
Yeah, but everything is okay. Yeah, my boy is good. You fixed it?
Family's good. Everything's good.
It's back to normal. Okay. Yeah, everybody's good. So we thought Emery, my boy, had something up with his appendix, but thankfully he's never really been on antibiotics before, and so I'm kind of thinking that it was that, and that's what was making his stomach all jacked up. So but it was hurting on that side, so they were freaked out. So yeah, I got home at I drove home from the hospital at 5:30 in the morning, so it was a kind of a 24-hour gig that day, or night, or whatever.
Probably a little tired, huh?
I was a little better now. Yeah, it's all good. You know how it goes.
Yes.
You've got kids.
I do.
Stuff happens.
I got a few of them.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah.
I just got a few.
But yeah. So enlighten me.
so
What's up?
That was your week.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Besides all the other stuff too, we had some relatives from Nashville come down.
Awesome.
And love those guys. And so they spent the night, the last couple nights, and it was great. Last night we spent at 8:30 at night, we went and jumped in the rain on the trampoline for a while until one of the kids got hurt, and we came back in.
Yeah, you don't know it's a good time until someone's
Right.
calling an ambulance.
Yeah.
But no, we alluded to. I started a new job, and I'm just getting settled into that. And yesterday was my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And,
yeah.
Thank you. And we had.
This is your 15th anniversary of your 29th birthday. I saw that.
Yes, 15th anniversary of my 29th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So we had some friends over last night. Our neighbors who had cake. Kids presented me with a present, a Buffalo Bills. What do those Indians call those tall wooden things? All the sculpture.
Totem poles?
Yeah, an Indian totem pole from my Buffalo Bills. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool, though.
Yeah.
I know it's not Eagles. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's where we left off. So now.
Yeah. So.
To the Ken and Mike Show.
Somebody say Eagles.
Yeah, I said it's not the Eagles. I'm just.
I was gonna say, cause you're an Eagles fan, right?
Yeah,
I'm an Eagles fan only because your dad made me an Eagles fan. I was actually a Raiders fan. Not into but it's because Bo Jackson.
Bo.
Yeah, Bo. Actually, they made a commercial of him lately.
Bo knows.
Bo knows, but they made one just recently with him. He looked old.
Yes.
Shot. Yeah. But hey, he is older.
He's
so
shot.
But he was an amazing athlete, wasn't he?
So.
Yeah. So.
Welcome to the Ken and Mike Show. Let's take care of the main stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, find us right now on Twitter, YouTube.
Yes. Instagram. Facebook, of course. Share this video right now, please.
What's the podcast?
Yes, castbox.com. Also Google Play, iTunes. It's all over the place.
Awesome.
Yes.
And what else?
Is there something else? YouTube. Right? What?
The
What?
producer's giving us 3 fingers.
What does
What
that
does
mean?
that mean?
3. Try something.
Oh,
is
try
it time right now? Oh, yeah, we want to. Yeah. So hey, it's been.
Well,
yeah.
we're a little.
We are, but you know what? Let's mention them. Listen,
We're a little off our mark tonight, but
that's
hey,
all right.
yes.
Listen, we want to make mention of something incredible,
Yes.
and that is an incredible organization.
We have an awesome sponsor for our show, Ken and Mike Show.
Yeah, and they're a business, and you should definitely patronize them. They are Tri-Oak Builders, and these guys not only do they give free estimates, right?
Yes.
But they're going to give their value. It's fair market value, the
Yes.
price, and they specialize in kitchen, bathroom, and tile work.
Well, not only do they do
Yeah.
good work, the good thing about and the awesome thing about them is they're all about relationships.
That's right.
And so they have integrity.
They do.
They do good work.
Yeah. Are they honest?
And it's integrity.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what.
And so yeah, and they've blessed us by coming alongside us on the Ken and Mike Show
Yeah.
and being a part of what we got going on here, and we just want our viewers to know they're patronizing us, and we would really ask that you patronize them.
Please do. And their phone number, if you want to contact them, is 518-267-3288, or check them out online at tryoakbuilders.com. Again, you can get a free estimate. All right, so yeah, there's a couple things we put on there as a generalization out there.
Right, and
Yeah.
those of you who are viewing and watching right now, take the time right now. Share this with your friends. Start your little watch parties right now. Share us on your page. I'm going to go ahead right now and share share our feed on my page. And but in that vein, a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight was brought to us by the viewers.
Yes.
And this is and that's what it's all about. So it's about the viewers. They wanted to talk about. We had one person reach out to us and say, what would be a really good topic to talk about is cryogenics. Suspending animation and with the hopes of bringing people back to life.
Hopes. That's
the hopes.
the key.
And what the bill has been put before Congress to investigate whether or not there's some
Conspiracy
questionable
or legitimacy to
questionable things going on with
Lyme disease.
Lyme disease and ticks and using them for biological warfare.
Yeah, there's an actual bill.
Yeah, to investigate
Yeah.
that before Congress. And the other topic was...
So there's another one too, and that is I think there's a couple more. I think Elon Musk.
Yep.
He wants to, and I want to by next year. They're saying that they're going to be able to put a prototype chip into your head to attach to your brain. They've tried it on monkeys, and they've said that basically a monkey was already able to.
And what's the end game with that?
Well, that's where
What's his hope to do with it?
that's where we're gonna. Well, that's where I want to go with it. There's some interesting things there, and they're kind of juicy details.
Are we taking the number?
We can talk about that right now. I'll tell you what. And you guys definitely chime in and tell us what you think about this.
518-744-4551. We're hoping that you want to jump in on the conversation if there's anything that you want to talk about. We might be having a little bit of phone technical difficulties, but we will get it. It will work.
Yeah,
we'll be able to hear what you want to say.
We got a good deal on that board, so if we need to bring it back, well, that's what we're gonna do.
I think we're going to
Yeah.
bring it back.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, on the Elon Musk thing, and you guys can chime in and tell me what you think about this. Have you heard about this a little bit?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
And those of you who are watching who don't know, we have Mel, Elijah,
Yep.
who is our producer,
Yep.
and our media guru,
Yeah. Sam
Romano.
Thank you guys for being here.
They're both in the studio today, participating in the show, so they can chime in at any
Yes.
time.
Thank you for all you do too.
It feels so nice having like a full house.
It does.
Yeah, it
I
does.
do love it.
We can all
Yeah.
get involved, and there's a lot of meat to it.
Exactly. And of course the viewers. Thank you.
And the viewers.
So Elon Musk, obviously he's a futuristic thinking kind of person. I mean, he's Tesla and all these different things. So in the beginning, what they mentioned was their big thing was, okay, we want to build a chip to help people that have, medical issues, brain issues, stuff like that. And they said that was the initial purpose. So now here's the thing: they want to connect your brain to AI. So your brain's able to. I can connect with the computer, and I can tell the computer to type. I can type something on the computer with my brain.
Exactly. Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you be hacked?
Well, dude, so that's where this can go. And obviously there's risks to AI big time, especially when you go into that. I mean, are you telling the computer what to do, or is it going to be the ability for the computer to tell you what to do?
Right.
And also, I mean, is that also a monitoring system? Oh, this guy is a little bit depressed today. He could possibly hurt somebody. Keep an eye on him.
Oh no,
You know,
we're just checking his temperature and his
And
core.
of course, this is government funding kind of stuff too. So it's interesting to think about that. People are actually, so the prototype is actually going to go into a human by 2020, I believe.
Have we ever watched The Matrix? Has anyone watched The Matrix?
Matrix or Minority Report
Yeah.
Or the gamer.
or The Gamer. I don't know if I've watched that.
The guy was
before.
in jail and he was being controlled by somebody else in a game.
Right.
But he was actually, people were actually dying.
So where does Elon Musk get these ideas? Huh? Except he has the money to try to get it going.
I think it's just odd.
It is odd because it's kind of freaky.
I mean, does it play right into Revelation where you're only going to be able to buy and sell and get your
Yes.
food because you have, now you're just online.
Right. Well, let's say AI
you're literally online.
AI is getting big, right? Of course. I mean, you're gonna pretty much have like a cell phone tower in your head /
Yeah, but with every technology that has computers, what always has to be done? Updates. What always happens when there's updates?
Could you imagine you lock
Bugs.
up? Do you have a Control Alt Delete?
Yeah, right. Here you go. Well, yeah, it's possible.
Going down the street,
Yeah, it's possible.
you
possible.
lose Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's possible.
Hey, but what is interesting though is maybe it can record your dreams.
That's possible. That's possible.
Oh, great. Do you really want somebody reading your mind?
Yeah.
Do you seriously?
No.
All faith in Christianity aside.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because we're people of faith doesn't mean we always have the purest of thoughts.
You know who used to say this? Is Pastor Fink. He used to say, could you imagine, he used it as a sermon, this was a long time ago, could you imagine if everybody walked around with a TV screen on their head that said exactly
my
what they were thinking?
Goodness.
They'd be like, and then...
I think we would all
know when
be
I'm back.
committed.
Yeah. So I came back. Am I down a lot now? Am I back? Okay, good. So basically, thank you very much, Mel. Exactly. It'd be like, if you're talking to somebody and you're thinking something
Really bad about
Yeah,
them. It's
right.
like, wow, he really
Dun, dun,
thinks
dun,
that
dun,
of
dun,
me.
dun.
And then I'm reading what you're thinking about.
My
What
computer was on. I'm typing it right now in Word. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and I think it can be kind of scary. What if somebody's like, if they start getting to the place where it's like, instead of having the football, as far as the president, they call it the football, obviously the nuke button.
Oh yeah.
Chip it in your brain. What if you accidentally, think it? Shoot, I dreamt it. I don't know.
Is my Amazon cart logged into my brain?
Dude, that's where it's going. Yes.
You'll blink twice if you want to accept.
No, I think you just think it like I'm ordered. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can. How would it work? Because you could think it and not mean it. You know.
I know.
It'd be really nice to
I think
have
I think it's too scary, and I think there's too many.
variables.
There's just too many things. Like, what if somebody did hack you
Yeah.
and you committed a crime?
Right.
You committed a crime,
Physically.
physically, but somebody hacked you.
Mentally.
Mentally, they hacked you, and so I think there's just too many things.
Are you
that-
telling me this chip is supposed to also control motor skills and all that stuff too?
I don't know. Well, they were using it for medical things. I think more for brain things. Guys, if you're listening, please chime in. We'd love to hear what you think about having a.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a D chip. but this
AI
is,
even stated that their
Yeah.
own language, which is absolutely scary, and most of the new technology learn off each other and don't even need a controller.
that
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that movie too.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Kayla. Yeah.
well, for example, Amazon,
Yeah.
Google, they're tracking your search history. They're working on developing, and
Yeah.
it's already put in places in certain cities and places where they know your purchase history
Right.
because it's logged.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so if you order, let's say you order stuff and you order periodically for a whole entire year, you order it every 2 months or every 3 months, or for a great example, you have Dollar Shave Club, right?
I used to.
I have it. It ships you something, and you can say
I had
2
to
months,
stop because
3
I have like
months.
10,000 blades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. But it'll ship it 2 months, every 3
Right.
months, every
Yeah.
4 months. Amazon is developing a system where
Yeah, it's just
the
an
same
algorithm
thing.
that's going to remember
says, oh,
everything you do.
You
yeah.
order every 3 weeks. You order milk. It's going to automatically order milk for you. You don't have to even say it or ask for it. It's going to do
Yeah,
that.
but I don't have my money in my bank account right now. Things are a little tight. Don't be ordering milk, darn it.
It don't know that. It just knows that you order milk every 3
Oh, no,
weeks.
pretty soon they'll link it to your bank account. Make sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
2
got
weeks
the
ago, he
funds.
was on 1 cup of coffee a day. Now he's on 6. Start ordering him bags of coffee. You know, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like. Are we
It's-
gonna have voices in our head too, though? I mean, like a Alexis or Alexa or something.
Well,
in our
that's
minds, too.
while
Yeah.
we're on that topic.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I don't have
Yeah.
Alexa in
Right.
my house. I mean,
That's-
everybody thinks I'm like, like
The
this
stuff
big,
is always listening.
this
It
big
is.
fear monger about, Big Brother's watching
Yeah.
everything and they're really listening. And, part of me thinks, yeah, they really are.
But they, they came out and said
Yeah.
that it's recording and people are listening to conversations. No, they're not just chiming in and listening. They're listening for certain keywords, certain
right.
things. But
Well,
it
they
is
started.
able.
They started that back in the '60s and '70s, even earlier, recording all conversations, listening to keywords on your telephone.
Yeah, back in the day when they used to switch the wires and stuff like that
Yep.
for in the military especially. But here's the thing.
So that's nothing new. It's
No.
it's just more updated.
right. Well, here's the thing too. Is like think about this. Like, well, as far as the listening thing goes, I mean, I've had or consider this actually. I can give you examples of times where I'm just like, okay, that's odd. Like for example, me and 2 other guys were having a conversation about I don't know if it was snakes or whatever it was. As soon as my buddy pulled up his phone and went to do something in Google, that exact thing that we were talking about came right up.
Yeah.
Another time, another guy, we were talking about a bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden he's like, "Dude, guess what I've been getting? Like I've been getting the spam mail all of a sudden."
Right. And my wife and I were talking about that one time too. We were just talking about something for the house.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in our Facebook feed was that item that we were talking about for sales on such and such.
I'm telling you.
It's just like wow.
Yeah.
So now it really makes you want to. Well, maybe it's also good for people. Here's the good thing. Maybe it's also correcting some bad behavior you might have in your life too.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you can stop
Yeah.
saying some certain things,
Sure.
stop doing some certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is a positive to it, but still, how intrusive of my
Yeah.
privacy for the government to do something stupid
Yeah.
like that?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Any more to say on that topic? You guys, that's crazy, right?
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so I think anything that the government is implementing
Mhm.
needs to have greater research and greater development as
Mhm.
far as what is the need. If it's a medical need
Mhm.
and it's just going to be used just for the medical field for medical purposes and only that, I think there could be benefits.
But then my question is, who's doing the check on that?
Yeah. That's the government, of course.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying,
And they're
I'm saying the
trustworthy.
government out of it, but I'm saying if the government allows it to happen, I think the only place that it can be safe is in a medical field with doctors or whatever who are using these system programs, but it's not something that's put into you and then you go home. Like for instance, I have a guy I work with who has diabetes. He has a monitor on him,
Right.
and so he could put up on his phone and see what his vitals are. It's beneficial.
Mhm.
Well, I don't have a problem with vitals. I don't have a problem with that because my wife, who had the stroke a year ago, she has just under the skin in her chest a chip
Mhm.
that monitors her vitals, that checks its heart. And while she's sleeping every night, there's a thing next to her bed that reads all that information and sends it to somebody for them to monitor and to look for certain criteria to whether or not there might be a concern to her health or something like that. That stuff I don't have a problem at. Well, what we're talking about, though, is putting a chip that can analyze, that can manipulate, and that can do things to you that are beyond your control. I don't have a problem with you monitoring vitals that could help save somebody's life. But I do have a problem with you being able to read my thoughts, maybe control some motor skills and stuff. Man, I don't want to be hacked. The next thing you know, I'm going down the road and I'm doing what the government says I need to do. And,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. And Kayla's saying here, smartphones will eventually be depleted and it will all be virtual reality. It's already possible, just not completely released yet. I researched and kept. And phones are constantly recording you. They have, database. Yeah, they have data. That's right.
That's true. And, like I said, it also might put some people in check because there's some things that people are sending to their friends
That they shouldn't be.
that aren't just being sent to their friends.
Yeah.
There's a government database, I'm sure, that has pictures of you that you probably don't want other people having.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Actually,
And
yeah.
next thing you know, when you try and run for a political office, all of a sudden these pictures come up.
That is interesting. They do, don't they?
Yeah. So I will never be governor.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, there's somebody who had a bunch of dirt, still come up and became president.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That is
and there's
true.
also someone who had a bunch of dirt that should be in jail who didn't get a chance of being president, but never mind.
Yeah.
But
oh
I
my God.
digress.
That is no another commercial. But that just give us the heads up. But by the way, with that being said too, is you know, I don't know. Oh, speaking of conspiracy aspects. Okay.
Now we get started on drones. We're not going to get on drones yet.
Oh yeah, that's another one too. Yeah. Okay. Oh, on that subject, I should probably use this for our news thing, right? But maybe we'll go to the area. Okay, we'll do that.
Oh,
We-
area.
we-
Are you going to do that in September?
No. But I think we can go
They
off that.
can't stop us all. Yes, they
We
can.
can do this for our. We can do that for our news segment. We can kind of play off that. We'll play off each other tonight because we don't have set things.
I see
We have our own
Independence
story.
Day
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I have two. Just remind me on our news segment. We have two topics in our very serious news segment tonight. One is birds, and that's going to answer your question, Kayla.
You know what? You're going to be running with the news topic tonight. I'm just going to
Yeah.
sit back and
Yeah,
watch.
And then the other one is what's the other one that you just alluded to?
At the Area 51.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go there. Okay, so
I think Will Smith needs to make another movie.
I think he does too. Yeah, yeah. No,
Just as long as it's not a genie, I don't care.
didn't they make a new Independence Day without him?
Yeah, without him. I think he was a little upset about it. Was it bad?
Yeah, thank you. I think I saw it too.
It was about his son.
Yeah, it's about his son.
Oh,
It's called
okay.
Resurgence or something.
Well, anyway.
Oh come on, what? You know that's why that's where it went wrong already.
Anyway.
Look, just anytime you have Will Smith and his
Yeah.
son
Yeah,
in a movie
Yeah.
or a sequel,
Yeah.
it's just not that good.
you're right. No, I agree with you.
Will Smith used to make phenomenal movies.
Yeah.
What
What's
happened?
that movie with that's actual based on a true story? With he becomes a millionaire.
Oh, I thought you meant Badger Vance.
No.
Bagger Vance, wasn't it?
Bagger Vance.
Okay, no, the one where he just was poor. He had nothing.
Hey,
Pursuit of Happiness.
while these guys are
Happiness.
talking, if you want to call in tonight on the Ken and Mike show and be a part of the show, the phone number's right there, 518-744-4551. And also, yeah.
Oh, Kayla, yeah, please share how God actually reached out to you, please. She said, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
You can either call in or share
you can
right
chat-
there.
yeah, share right there,
We're going to
please.
continue talking. Actually, while she types that up, do you want to go to?
Yeah, why don't you show our people what we're all about behind the scenes with some great people?
Great people.
You let us know.
Are we ready to roll?
Here on the Ken and Mike Show, we not only love building relationships, but strive to be honest and integral in all we do. Thankfully, this is the same philosophy held by our friends at Tri-Oak Builders.
Tri-Oak Builders, who are right here in the Upper Hudson Valley, are a family-owned company that puts these values to work in everything they do. From custom bathroom builds and renovations to kitchen and tiles, they've got you covered, and all at a fair market value.
So, if you're like us and like doing business with companies that want to provide the best service possible for their customers at an affordable price, then you need to call the builders you can trust. Tri-Oak Builders.
Call them today for a free estimate at 518-267-3288. That's 518-267-3288. You can also check them out online at tryoakbuilders.com.
Tri-Oak Builders.
Where building relationships matter. And we're back.
We are back.
We're back.
Sorry that we took so long.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yes, and you just heard from us about our advertisers, who we are very thankful to have on here. Again, give them a call at 518-267-3288. Free estimate, by the way.
tryoakbuilders.com.
That's right.
.com.
Yeah, so we were talking about a lot of different things. And Kayla's going to shoot us up a message in a second about how God reached out to
Do you
her.
want to? Do you
Yeah.
still want to go into what we were talking about, or do you want to go into our?
We got our news hour segment coming up. We should do that now,
wanna do
actually.
that? You
Let's
know
do
what?
that. Then
You-
we'll get
you-
serious.
You know, it's all.
Well, this is serious, too.
This is
You
all.
let
you.
us know when you want to chime that in there. It's time for our interesting news, we're going to call it today.
News.
You let us know when you want to chime that in.
Kenny,
Hi, Mike.
how are you?
I'm good.
I got to be serious.
Yeah.
I got to be real serious for
Yeah.
a second.
Yep.
I didn't prepare at all for the news tonight.
I did not either, but I know some.
You know some.
I do.
I want you to tell me your news. Enlighten me.
Can I
'cause
tell you
I
something,
hear
though?
it's something really serious.
This is exactly. You could easily be a news anchor because I'm sure they don't prepare either.
Oh,
They
okay.
get somebody goes like this and says, "Hey, read this,"
Oh,
on the,
okay,
or they
awesome.
give a teleprompter. So we could do it actually. If anybody's hiring news anchors, Mike and myself,
We are available.
So listen. Tonight on the News Hour,
Yes.
we're talking about something very, very. I wish we had a dun dun dun, but basically, we.
Dun, dun.
There it is. Thank you. Area 51. It's time to open it, says many people on Facebook.
I'm going.
Yeah, see, you know,
Okay.
I'll be honest. I
Are
was
they opening it up?
no.
Oh,
I was looking at. See, I had no idea what this was all about. I just kept seeing all these memes on Facebook about,
Yeah.
Chuck Norris is signing on to do Area 51, and all these things. Are you ready? Signing. I'm like, well, what are we talking? I was asking my wife, why are we seeing all these references to Area 51? I had no clue
me
what it was
either.
about.
I didn't either.
And then it came to light on the news
Mm-hmm.
that somebody posted a meeting. They can't stop all of us. Let's storm Area 51.
That thing's pretty heavily guarded. I've seen some stuff, documentaries on that. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
I saw the aliens in there too.
Whether it's true or not, if the government wants to protect something, I don't care how many you got.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't making it.
You're not making
Yeah,
it.
what do you bring into the table?
Today's millennials can't start a lawnmower. How are they going to start a rally to Area 51?
That's true. That's
If you offer soy latte,
oh, some crayons and coloring books too.
crayons, color books, a safe space.
Wait. I'm going to go off on the topic. Say that again. How do you say crayons?
Oh,
That was on Facebook too, and I just heard him say it.
Crayons.
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 It's
Crayons?
I know
It's-
we say crayons.
Not crayons. That's
Yeah.
the stupidest thing.
Wait, it's crayons. That's
No, it's
exactly
not.
what it says.
Crayons.
Listen, Mr. Pronunciation. You need to watch Pink Panther
Yeah.
and learn from
Hamburger.
yeah hamburger. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, but
Sound that out.
Take
crayons.
yeah. Just take the Y and the,
Phonetically, can you sound that out?
take the Y and the O
Crayons.
out. They don't belong there.
Crayons.
Crayons.
Okay, back
Yeah,
to Area
yeah.
51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Area 51.
Crayons.
This guy posted how like a poll, like like this thing, and he put like an event thing of people who can join.
Yeah.
Over 3 million and counting people have signed up for his
Yeah.
invite to go raid Area 51, and the caption was, "They can't stop all of us," and so that's what it is.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I want to tell you something right
Yes,
now.
they can.
Yeah.
Yes,
You took
yes,
the words
they
out of my
can.
mouth.
Yes, they
Yeah.
can.
Well, what's interesting,
I don't
how,
care if you
how
go
it
from-
started
Yeah.
was people were walking in some mountain somewhere, and they found this dirt road with a sign that said, "Go beyond this point, and you will be shot." There's a sniper.
That's not the flat Earth people, is it?
I don't know if it's flat
I'm
Earth,
just
flat Earth
joking,
people,
no.
but and so it started getting traction where people were like, "Why is there a sign here that says that there's this warning? If you go past this point, there's snipers," and so that started. Oh, it's got to be Area 51. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. So it started gaining traction, and people were trying to go to this road and find this sign and see what happens if they go past it. And one time, people started going right next to the sign. Military started showing up. Not a whole bunch, but
Mhm.
enough to where they said,
Was
okay.
this documentary?
Can we have a show of hands in the studio? How many people actually believe there's aliens in Area 51?
aliens in Area 51 or that there's an actual Area 51?
I believe there's an actual Area 51.
Do you think it's actually called Area 51 or do you think it's
No,
just
I
we
just
call
think-
it because,
well, it may
because of
be.
movies?
It may be just from movies. It may actually be labeled. I don't
Yeah.
think it's inconsequential, but there is
Yeah.
a place that people refer
Yes,
to as
Area
Area
51.
51.
I gotta
And
tell you something.
Is there anything there?
I don't know, but
You
it
know
is
what?
intriguing. I'm sorry. It is fun.
Of course, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's aliens there, but I do believe in UFOs, unidentified flying objects,
Right.
and they could be testing from that location. Don't know if there's aliens there, but they could be testing
We had a show
from
on
that
that.
location.
We had a show on whether or not.
Yeah, we did.
We know our opinion, but
Well, I definitely believe in the 10-dimensional theory. So I'm actually doing something else right now, somewhere else. And I probably know some aliens.
they legalized something recently in New York, didn't they? That you're partaking.
Yes, they did. How did you guess? It's been awesome. I'm
He's
hooked.
been a test.
Yeah. I have a chip.
Oh,
It supplies me
So,
too. Yeah.
The long story short, just
Oh, we're still in the news hour. Or
Oh yeah, we never
Yeah.
even.
yeah.
We started.
We're going on Area 51. Sorry. Back.
Do your news.
Yeah, let's go
Do
back to
your
the other
news.
thing.
Do your
Okay.
news.
So, very serious on the news that I heard today. This is serious.
Put it in loop. Just put music behind it.
Yeah, right. There is a gentleman who is very, very tired of the truth not getting out there, and it has to do with drones. He believes
The children are our future.
no that birds are not really birds that we see. They are drones.
I think I've seen this somewhere.
Yes, and so
Was there a
he
movie?
has got people together, and he wants to make people well aware of this. We're being watched by birds, and they are drones. They're computers. They are AI. They are watching us.
So I've heard of bird watching, but now the birds are watching us.
Yes. So if whoever it is, please don't bill me for the birds that I've killed with my car. I am very sorry.
Wow.
When they squished, though, I didn't see any computer chips. I saw other stuff.
Alfred Hitchcock would have a good time with
Yeah.
that one.
This kid's very serious and adamant about it, though. So let's give him some props.
Wow.
Yeah. Good job, bud. Yeah.
Kayla, we'll get to you in a second. You have another news story, don't you?
I don't know if I do or not. I have had a few up.
I thought you had two.
Well, Area 51 was one.
Area 51 was
Yeah,
the big
and
one.
then that was that one, and then also the birds was an interesting one as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I just
Oh,
thought that was
wow.
interesting. That is our news segment this evening.
Oh
Back
boy.
to being serious.
back to being serious. Back to seriously talking about Area 51.
Kayla,
All right, Kayla, you want to read it, Kenny?
I
Go ahead.
can't really.
You can't read that far.
No.
I can read it. There is a park/beach that I like to go to. Very peaceful, very peaceful place at like the end of the long road. Raccoon Park, which is on the border of Lake Erie, and I was actually having a bad day and decided to go there to relax. And a couple of friends met me there.
Let's see, where we go?
There we go. Seymour. I had to hit the Seymour thing. All right. And we walked up to sit at the picnic benches, and I see this small black Bible. And I was like, whoa, what the heck? And at first I was skeptical, then was like, okay, it's a Bible. Don't be scared. So I picked it up, and I opened it. And first, a little background. I'm a firm believer in God, but I haven't been as faithful as I should or want to be, and my mind has been consumed with how I know I need to just completely give my all to Him, because I know that I need Him more than ever right now in my life, and plenty of other thoughts. But I open it, and this is what it said. This has got to be Him reaching out for me. Oh, so I think there's a to be continued.
Oh, this is.
Sure.
Oh
Go
yeah.
Go
absolutely.
ahead. If you want
Please,
to post
yes.
something, go right
Yeah.
ahead. So
just-
while we wait for that,
That's awesome. That's like a. dumb-
yeah. See, this is why we love
yes,
the show.
exactly. To be continued. Too.
Yes,
It's like
this is all-
leaving you on the seat of your pants. There
So
go.
we should go off the air right now.
Yeah.
And we'll come back
Come back.
next Tuesday at 8 p.m. sometime around there.
As long as we're ready.
Yeah, post the pictures.
Yes.
While she's doing that, let me try and figure it out here. Okay, we'll wait for you. But we'll talk while she's doing
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Lyme disease thing.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a bill that's set before Congress
Yes.
right now.
I'll go off. I have it on my phone, but I can go off the top of my head. Well, you probably know a little bit too, so go ahead.
Yeah, apparently they're investigating
Yeah.
whether or not there was some misgivings or how would we put? Well, there's a conspiracy, which might be true.
In Lyme, is it Lyme, New York, or Lyme,
Lyme,
Connecticut?
Connecticut is where it was originated from.
Okay.
But there was some testing that
Yes.
they're trying to
island.
investigate whether or not the U.S. government was manipulating something with
Biologically, yeah.
biological warfare with the tick that might be the reason why we have Lyme
Because
disease.
they had these things, these tick houses, basically,
Right.
with it. Yeah.
But the bill that's set before Congress right now, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
is investigating whether or not there was misuse or it was used for this biological reason. And if that's true, okay, say they find out.
weaponizing,
Say,
yeah.
say if it was for weaponizing. Say if it is true, and say
Mm-hmm.
we find out that there was mass
Misconduct.
mass misconduct or gross negligence by
Yeah.
the U.S. government. What's the end game?
The end game is that when we talk about this is where real
Do we
reparations.
all get reparations for that?
Yes. Well, anybody who I think anybody. I mean, everybody will be going to the doctor to check and see if they have Lyme disease for sure. Fine, but those who have serious cases and have had, like myself, and I'm not sitting here saying I need your money. What I'm saying though is that should be, because there's been a. I'm telling you what.
Well, you know about my wife who died. Who died? Yeah. Who almost died because of it.
Right.
I got meningitis from Lyme.
Yes, and I still have effects. And guess what? I've also heard that people who have Parkinson's, 100% of the time, don't quote me on this, but I have heard this though, that 100% of the time they've had Lyme at one time. That's interesting. So the thing is my dad, this is where when I heard this, I was like, my dad has got to be all over this. He has been telling me for years. He's like, there was a board of Lyme disease, like consultants or people on directors basically trying to solve this issue, and they all started weeding away, in an odd kind of way, local ones.
This is like Hillary Clinton and all the people that mysteriously end up suicide with a gunshot to the back of the head.
Probably
twice.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, probably. And so what's weird about it though is that so she, my dad is not a she, but he.
Wait till I see him someday.
But basically, he's been saying, he's like, Kenny, I'm telling you, because he read all about it. He's like, in Lymes, Connecticut, there was an island, and they did all this stuff, and I'm telling you right now, this is
island.
Yeah, it was off. They did. I guess he said it was off of the land or something like that.
I don't know geographically.
I don't either. It was something like that. What? Oh, so basically though, but they possibly could have been coming up with something. Whether it was a accident, or it was on purpose, we don't know. And I think that's what we're trying to figure out. But obviously, here's the weird thing, and I mean, growing up in the 80s and the 90s, I don't ever remember seeing a tick before. I mean, I'm not saying that I probably didn't, but my point is it wasn't like it was today. It is so bad, and I think.
So do you think they're more prevalent now than they were 30, 40 years ago?
There will be over two. I read the statistics. It's going to be about almost 2 to 427,000 cases. If anybody
has an
of
opinion
Lyme.
on this or knows anything about it, 518-744-4551. Feel free to chime in on this.
Please. But it's going to be
maybe Mel can put the number up there.
Like 400,000 more cases of Lyme's already happened, basically.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, but is it because now we're more conscientious of it and we're able to classify it? Because for a long time, Lyme went undiagnosed because nobody didn't know what it was.
That's true.
And it was being masqueraded as the flu and other, because Lyme can mask itself as.
Oh yeah,
various others.
There's
things.
lots of bacteria strands that come with tick-borne illnesses,
right?
And so that's the thing. Defining them is difficult, and I don't know. I mean, there's conspiracies on that aspect too. There's. Go
ahead, Kayla. Just type it out while we're talking.
That's fine. People that had Lyme, they weren't getting better. I mean, for me, I still have effects. I mean, I've ever since then, I started like. Progressively, I used to sing a lot. I can't really anymore. Like all of a sudden after that, like more headaches all the time, achy joints all the time. I mean, it just feels like it never goes away. But I don't have it. I mean, according to the blood labs and stuff like that. But then people said, well, you can send your blood work over to a place in California. It's like $800 a pop. You have to pay cash because your insurance doesn't cover it. But then again, it's just like, okay. And the people who did that tested positive, had to get a different antibiotic. But then people say, well, that's not regulated by the FDA, so maybe they're just trying to get people's money. So you don't know. It's kind of interesting.
That's interesting.
So I don't know.
Anthony Creed says Plum Island.
Plum Island. What is Plum Island? Explain.
I've heard it before. I've heard of Plum Island before. I honestly, I'm showing my ignorance.
Oh, maybe
here.
he's saying Plum
Is he
Island.
referring that's what it was called?
Yeah.
Plum Island?
The location. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ignorant on the topic, but I do believe. There is some governments got their hand in more things than you want to admit, or than they want to admit.
I agree 100%.
So I wouldn't doubt it if there was some sort of
misconduct.
Yeah.
Well, define misconduct according to when it comes to Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, they didn't do anything that was on
we
presidential.
Can throw Trump in there too. Let's be fair.
Okay, let's throw Trump in there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we just threw him in there. We're done.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mueller report, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
8:30.
Yeah. In the morning.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Exactly. Whatever.
Whatever.
Seriously, whatever you can do to stop him from the 2020 election.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Have fun.
They keep digging holes.
Yeah. So seriously though, when I saw that headline though, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I hope I actually do have. It says, did Pentagon turn ticks into biological weapons? So lawmakers are seeking the answer. So for people to get involved, I don't think they're just trying to make money. I think that this has been something that's been going on that people have been questioning for a long time now. I think they're finally saying, like, we got to do something because something's not right. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody messed up somewhere. How do we have this illness? And because they're talking about, some people have mentioned that it might be even to the place of sexually transmitted now, possibly
Lyme?
from mosquitoes. That's something with the bacteria. That's what I heard.
Really?
I won't go into the details of how that happens.
I hope not.
No, but
no, actually, go ahead, Ken. We'll sit back and we'll just watch.
Well, I'll start with the tick.
Listen.
When the tick bites, no. But yeah, I mean, there's some stuff. So there's an amendment calling for the investigation, which was submitted by New Jersey Rep. Chris Smith, which recently saw cases of Lyme disease reach a staggering level. So it passed the House, and so it's added to the National Defense whatever that is, Authorization Act. So what's up? Yeah. Oh,
back to Kayla's story.
Yes. Before we do that, experiments and diseases long eradicated there. Plum. Maureen, expand on that. What do you mean there? I think you're trying to say something.
No, continue. That's good. Kayla, back to your story.
Yes.
For those who are just tuning in, Kayla had a God encounter.
Yes.
Went up.
She went to a bench by her favorite beach, the lake.
Yep.
And she found a Bible. And she was hurting. She was really seeking God.
And she said she wanted to share some pictures, but she couldn't figure out how to do that here, and I'm not even sure we can do that.
So she opened the Bible and she read this.
Right. And it says, the first page said, someone wrote, only through repentance into Christ Jesus can we be saved. God truly is this good. And the next page it says, presented to name, in parentheses puts that's what they wrote on the lines. And then it says, by Jesus. On the next line with the date under it, 6/28/19, and the last page says the end, but they wrote not the end, and they wrote, but a new beginning in Christ Jesus. Amen. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I think she should be able to share it to our page.
Okay.
If she can't share it to the chat, I think she should be able to share it to our page.
Yeah.
Oh,
please
awesome.
do that because
we'd
love to share that around. That's an awesome story that we.
That's awesome. So.
That's awesome. That's a God encounter.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You think about your moments of where it's just been like the worst, and something out of the blue happens, and you're like, "Thank you, God." Like, I mean, how many times does it happen?
Too many times to count. I mean, I can go into I can give a whole testimony how God saved my whole family through a financial crisis. That's for another show. But, that was miraculous.
Yeah.
These are God encounters that, when people say, who's God? Well, I can tell you who my God is.
Cool.
She's going to share it on our page. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Kayla. Thank you for sharing that. Seriously. Maureen says a sort of scientific experiment place. Government run.
I think Plum Island.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Maureen,
that correlates with
is that off of Connecticut?
The other guy.
Plum Island? Is that off of Connecticut?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the geography of that. I thought that was more New York, wasn't it?
Staten Island kind of thing, or Rhode Island?
I don't know. But look, you guys can look it up.
Yeah. Maureen would know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, do we want to continue on that, or do we want to? We started 15 minutes late, so I want to talk about.
Before we go into the next little segment here, you should probably mention some people that we know that do some really great business.
Oh yes, we get caught up in our own little thing. We make it about us.
Yeah.
And we forget to remind our listeners and our viewers that it's really about them who participate in the show and those who come alongside us and want to see this kind of format continue.
Yes.
And the people that make that possible are Tri-Oak Builders. Tri-Oak Builders who specialize in kitchens and bathrooms.
Yeah, and tile work. They're incredible.
Yeah, they're real. I hear they're excellent in tile work. And if you guys tuned in earlier, you saw the commercial where some of the awesome work that they did. But they're about integrity. They're about relationships. and they're about giving you a fair price, a
That's
fair
right.
market value, and we love them. They're awesome people, and I look forward to doing
Yeah.
business with them personally.
Yes.
If you're looking to get a kitchen done, you're looking to get a bathroom done, contact Tri-Oak Builders at trioakbuilders.com or 518-267-3288. That's 518-267-3288.
And Preston will give you a free estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Preston's cool.
Yeah, he is cool.
And I encourage you,
yeah.
mess with him when you call him.
Yeah.
He can take it. He's awesome.
I'm not joking. He is a great guy to work with.
Yes.
You'll love him. You just fall in love with the guy. So just give him a call and see what happens.
And if you want to tune in, if you want to call into the Ken and Mike show right now, it's 518-744-4551. Be a part of the show. Have your opinion heard. Have any questions you want to ask? You want to comment or talk about anything that we've talked about tonight? Please comment. Call and comment. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. Castbox.com.
Yep.
is
Or
where
iTunes or Google Play.
iTunes,
Yep.
Google Play. We are all over the place. So if you can't find us, I think we need a class on technology because we're all over it.
Yeah.
So please find us, share us with your friends, share this this stream right now on your page. You can start your little watch parties.
Yeah.
Let your friends become our friends because that's how our audience is going to grow.
Yep.
And the Ken and Mike show is really growing, and we're really reaching out, and we're
Yeah.
really having people come alongside and help us out.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I hear we're going to be losing somebody, which we might have to pin him down to his chair and kick him.
I am changing the calendar.
Oh,
So August
okay.
isn't coming.
August isn't coming.
Right,
Yeah,
it's-
so
it's-
he's not allowed to leave.
No, it's July for a few more months.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Because
Yep.
we still need the media support, and
Exactly.
if he leaves, the Ken and Mike show falls completely apart.
You got it. Yes.
And we just can't have that happen. So
Exactly.
we're going to pin him down to his chair,
That's right.
and I don't care what he wants to do about building the kingdom. What's that all about?
Yeah. What is that all about?
He's not allowed to
What
do that.
What are you doing? Why don't you tell folks where you're going and what you're doing?
All right. Well, I'm going to Hamilton, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah. Easy. And I'm going to the Ramp School of Ministry, and it's a 2-year program, and it has classes and it has different programs and experiences that really enhances different aspects of ministry, whether it's worship, whether it's preaching and teaching, whether it's media, whatever it is, it has specific things that.
Well, we preach and teach here. We can start
Yeah.
playing worship music here,
And we
you're
can
doing
teach
media.
you everything
go.
about the
You're
Word
done.
of God that you need to know.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
Yeah.
need to keep
All
the
right.
Ken and Mike show at the forefront of everything that you do,
All right.
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
All right, so-
And whatever the
Sorry.
cost is to go there, just put it into here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all that money you're raising, you don't need that to go there. Stay here at the Ken and Mike show.
Yeah. Pay yourself.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
yeah.
I wish I could.
Yeah, so we've settled it. He's not leaving, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
He's good.
We've all agreed?
Yep. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
That's
Okay.
not fair.
Yeah.
So, Kenny,
Yeah, sure.
I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
Are we done with the
Yeah,
Lyme thing? Do we
the-
want to continue with the Lyme? I mean,
No,
does
we-
anybody have an opinion on it?
I don't. So far, let's see.
No? Okay.
Somebody called. Probably. Oh, somebody called her. Okay. Yep.
What do you think of
Yeah.
frozen people? No. What do you think of cryogenics?
Love to try it someday when I'm already about to die.
Seriously?
As most people do.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I've heard of freeze-dried fruit.
Well,
but
Walt Disney is frozen, right?
no,
Yes.
he actually isn't. They said that's just a thing.
Just
Well, now I'm mad.
Just
Myth.
just an urban legend.
Urban
or whatever.
legend.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm done. I'm not watching Walt Disney movies anymore.
So-
No, I will.
All right.
I
well,
like 'em.
Like we said,
I have some questions about it.
like we said, our show is about a
Yeah.
faith
Yes, it
perspective.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take everything that we're talking about now from a faith perspective because this cryogen, I just watched a video on it before you got here tonight,
Okay,
and we were
yeah.
watching it, and I'm really bothered by it.
Yeah.
Basically, cryogenics is people are deep freezing themselves, flash freezing themselves in nitrogen. There's companies that are offering a service that people believe that in the future we will have the technology to bring them back to life, reanimate them, and
When you say reanimate, define that.
well, they're going to freeze them to you could pause life, freeze yourself. Now, all right, let me talk to you about the funny thing. This is real quick. We were watching in this video. Apparently, there's a company that offers 2 flavors of this.
Okay.
The one flavor is that for $180,000, you can completely freeze yourself,
Full body.
full body freezing.
Oh, good, not just partial.
Oh,
Good.
wait, hold on. Full body freeze yourself
Okay.
in the hopes that for $180,000 in the future, you can be reanimated, brought back to life, and start with new technology because you'll be able to cure diseases that you might have had. So before you die of whatever disease you have, they'll freeze you. When the cure becomes ready down the road in the future, 100 years from now, they'll bring you back to life, cure you, and you can go on living again. That's phase one. There's other companies say, well, if you're cheap, we have
Can't afford it.
we have another option for you. We can just freeze your head. We're going to cut your head off. This should have been for the news part, but just cut your head off because there's people that, say, well, what's the point of that? Because I'm going to freeze myself at 90 years old. I don't want to come back to life 200 years from now in a 90-year-old body. So just freeze my head, and then we'll have the technology to put that head on a new body, a nice prim buff body.
You're being serious about the cutting your head off?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they can freeze the head and bring you back to life with this 90-year-old head, I'm assuming, 80-year-old head, on like a 20-year-old body.
It should have been in the news segment.
That's not exactly what I'm saying. But this is the truth. So from a faith...
Well, if you do it now, when like say you're 30, you'll be
I
on
don't
a
know
30
how to come
body.
at this with a faith perspective. I can't take this
Or-
seriously.
Or
faith-
with the chip, you know how they put the chip in the brain?
Yeah.
Well, they'll put with the chip in your brain, they'll freeze your whole head, and then it puts your head on a new body that's
But apparently this is happening. And then with
You
a video
control.
apparently there's American companies that allow you to do this.
Yes.
But we were watching a video where this is actually happening in Australia, where they're...
Frankenstein, yes,
where
exactly.
This is happening in Australia, where they're, putting people into a deep freeze. There's a woman that we were watching a story. There's a woman who has cancer that has tumors all over all her organs, her body. So her and her husband have agreed to be frozen before they lose their lives and to be brought back to life, however many years it takes to get technology to bring people back to life from this. I didn't see all of it. The headline said woman brought back to life or person brought back to life. I didn't see all of it.
I'd like to talk to her because I think if I talk to her and I'm in that conversation with her, I wonder if she'll once in a while just pause and be like, "Sorry, I just had a brain freeze." So,
But ice cream must be terrible for her. So anyway, but seriously,
that's like whatchamacallit, like frostbite though. I mean, when you come out of there, you're gonna be like, how do you know, like how?
Well, they freeze you so fast. Frostbite is over
That's what I was
prolonged
gonna
time.
ask.
They
Okay.
freeze you so fast. What they do is, I saw the process.
So nothing expands.
What they try and do is remove as much moisture from your body as possible.
So they dehydrate you first.
Water.
Right.
they remove a bunch of water and
they
fluid
remove all the
from you.
fluids and water and blood and all that stuff from you, and then flash freeze you.
I think
Now,
I'm
in
gonna try
nitrogen,
it.
if you're putting nitrogen, you literally freeze in a matter of instance. So I think frostbite isn't. I don't know. I don't know the technology.
I can
but,
see because you're still alive, things are still flowing.
So from a faith perspective, this is actually becoming more and more available for those who are affluent and those who can afford it.
Yeah.
And so my question is, what Scripture says, it's a point that I can't even say it with a straight face. It's a point that a man wants to die.
Yes. Yeah.
So if this becomes possible, which I don't think it will, because I take the word of God literally.
Yeah.
So if you're given a soul, it says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord,
Yes.
right? So when you die,
Right.
you're immediately in the presence of the Lord.
Yeah.
So whether technology is there enough to reanimate the body, I really have a hard time believing there's actually going to be any life in it, because when they come back to life,
Unless they put the chip in it,
how do you need the
Unless
chip?
they
Yeah,
put
we're
the
back
chip.
to the chip.
they can keep that personality there.
I'm gonna cash in on this. I'm gonna charge people.
If they
less-
drop your head, it
less than
shatters,
that.
Maureen says.
What's she saying?
If they drop your head, it shatters. Oh, Terminator 2.
Oh my god.
that would be awesome.
I'm gonna cash in on this. I'm gonna start a business where I'm gonna gyro freeze people, because let's say you're frozen, and I take your money. What really matters to you after you've paid me your money and you're frozen? Like, what really matters? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
That's
stopping
true.
people?
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do if I freeze you and take your money and then you die?
Yeah.
You're
Not only that, if you do come
Yeah,
back,
they're
to,
laughing all the way back at these businesses.
but if
anyway.
you come back to life, you just depleted your savings. I'm sure, or you took out a loan. How are you paying it back?
Well, you have the money. I mean, if you have the money to do this,
Okay,
but there's no,
Hey,
but there's no testing.
What do you, but
yeah, what's the interest rate on the loan?
yeah.
How do they amortize that?
Hey, I tell
over
you what, right now,
I'll
want
pay
it
you
to
back
be-
when you bring me back to
Yeah,
life.
right, exactly.
Right now, it better be a fixed rate.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, it's variable.
okay,
Depends on how much you
but-
come
but-
back to life.
But when you come back, though, what are you coming back to? You don't like. You're not coming back to the same job. If they have to
But if you're
monitor
independently
you,
wealthy and you have
yeah,
all
but
that
if, they,
money,
if
what's
they're
the
gonna
matter?
have to monitor you and see if you're actually like capable of doing anything anymore, if it actually worked. This is not something that they tried for
Can we?
No, there's
10
no
years.
Oh,
now.
there's no
can't-
proof.
you-
There's no test of somebody who has gone through this for hundreds of years
Yeah.
and how they've been. Let's say like the Lyme disease.
Yeah.
It's cured. They freeze you. You have Lyme disease?
Yeah.
You come back to life. You bring back Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. We can't really take this seriously, but the person who sent this, I really think they wanted us to take this seriously. I
Yeah.
don't know how the topic can be because I
Yeah.
really think it's kind of foolish, especially if you're a God-fearing believer.
Yeah.
But where do we stand on this as far as ethics and
Yeah.
morals go?
I think even if you're not a God-fearing believer, the ethics is wrong no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's
Why? Where
stupid.
but people who don't have a thought of a creation, there's no value on life, so we're going to do anything we can with it.
Still though,
They're still trying to preserve their life here on Earth. I've got to stay alive here. It is
That's just-
fear of dying. Mel says. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I get it.
Fear of
It's-
dying.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It is, and it's. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It's not. It's not going to work. And like they're saying they don't have like a timetable for when they're going to bring them back. Like,
Well, do we know?
there's a very good possibility that Jesus is coming back way before that. They're going to be thought out. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
How does the thaw-out process work? I
That-
mean, you can instantly freeze. Can you? What is there, microwave? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. When you come back, how do you do that?
put them on the popcorn set
Now,
for 5 minutes.
I have heard of you know how you watch those I don't know if they're like if you call them documentaries or what, but basically like really crazy things that have happened basically. And one of the things that happened was somebody did something happened outside. They were frozen and they did die. And they went to the hospital. When they thawed, they did get them back to life.
Well, this happened to a Buffalo Bills player.
Oh.
I forgot his name, but it was during the 2002 or 3 season, first game of the year. He was a high round draft pick, was covering on a kickoff. He led with his head, snapped his neck right there on the field. And what they did, they said it was the first time that they did this, and it was kind of ironic because Ralph Wilson at the time, the owner of the Buffalo Bills, has chosen to be a part of this trial thing, where the medics ran onto the field after assessing what happened, ran onto the field, immediately dropped his body temperature. Whatever they did, they snapped his neck, paralyzed him. He was paralyzed.
Wow.
They dropped his body temperature to the point where he was completely unconscious. I mean, they said extreme. I don't remember what the process was. They extremely did it. Brought him to the hospital. Because they were doing this, they were able to save the nerve endings in the spine, do some sort of surgery, reattach it, and he's completely fine today. He can't play football because of the risk of any injury again to the neck. But for medical reasons, now, was he still alive? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
But this freezing has been put into practice before. I don't know to the level.
I
of
think his name was
cryogenics.
Jack Frost.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow!
Well, there's a lot. I don't know. I think again, trying to preserve this life again, like you guys said. I mean, I think that's where we all can agree with. They don't understand the life after.
And you don't understand the gift of what life is.
Yeah.
And it's a gift that was given to you by a creator with a plan and a purpose. His plan is for you ultimately to end up with him
Yeah,
again.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not for you to continuously live and extend your life on for however long you want, playing God and doing whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. He has a purpose. Fulfill that purpose while you're here for the short amount of time. Because the Bible says we're limited to what, 120 years? I think it was. I think that's what the limit's been put.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't think again, and when if you do end, you're not gonna want to come back when you're there.
You
Listen.
have no clue what you're coming back
Yeah.
to.
right when I leave this earth and I in the spirit and I'm in the presence
Yeah.
of God.
You ain't gonna want to come back.
No,
Yeah.
you know what? Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Peace. I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the stories are true. You've heard of people that have like gone to heaven and come back and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
5 minutes of heaven.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know.
And it's very interesting. It
yeah.
reminds me
Well,
of this
Paul said
movie
he got
called.
caught up into the third heaven.
Yeah.
Well, he saw a vision. He said,
What movie?
"Surrogate." You ever seen the movie Surrogate?
Is that with
surrogate.
Bruce Willis.
Yes, I have
Yeah,
seen
well,
that.
his wife, she was in some kind of accident or something like that,
And
and she was deformed, and she had a surrogate body
Yes.
that she controlled back
Yeah.
to that AI thing.
Yeah, did he too? And then he finally wanted to be. He's like, I want your
Yeah,
real person, not the surrogate anymore.
yeah. It's that mindset of the fact that I need to preserve
Yeah.
myself. If I'm in an accident, if I'm deformed,
Yeah.
I'm deemed as not worthy anymore. So I
The-
need to present myself in a way that is
The
acceptable to society.
underlying
Facade.
tone I'm hearing in
Mhm.
all this is we're putting ourselves on such a high pedestal that we are the most valuable, that we need to preserve ourselves, that there's nothing that's greater than me.
That's well said. It's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, so basically you're saying that your creator has no...
I'm sorry. I mean, I think you guys would all agree too. I mean, when something happens, prayerfully it gets fixed. Like if it's a disease or something like that. But if I was told I was gonna die, I want to live out my life as best as I possibly can until the day that I don't breathe anymore. Like I don't want to just
So
freeze
you're
me.
telling me you're telling me if I told you without a shadow of a doubt we have the technology right now
Yeah.
to freeze you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to completely freeze you. Kenny, doctor said in 6 months you're going to be dead.
Mm.
So in about 3 months we're just going to freeze you
Mhm.
because in about 25 years we know we're going to have a cure for what you have.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
Right. I guess I'm thinking, okay, how old will my kids be and stuff like that. Daddy will come back.
But you know who God is.
Exactly. No, I'd say sorry.
So you
thank
know
you.
it's his plan,
Yeah.
not mine. His
Number
ways
one-
are above our ways.
Number one, I don't have the money.
That's
But
what it
see-
all comes down
Yeah.
to.
Deep down, without Christ,
Yeah.
deep down, without Christ, we're all like, remember Doctor Strange,
Yes.
where his hands
Yes.
spent numerous amount of money all over the world
Yeah.
tried to cure and fix his hands.
Yep.
Without Christ, that's exactly how we are.
Yeah.
If we have the money, we don't care how much we
Right.
spend. We don't care what we do. We want to preserve ourselves
Yeah.
and put ourselves, like I said, on a pedestal and become God or
Right.
become like God. And that's where all the issues come from. When anytime that we remove God from something, what happens?
You know what's cool about that? I mean, I know it's just a movie, and it's not a God movie, but it's spiritual. At least I actually, whenever I watch stuff like that, I always think about stuff like that. I'm like, once again, has had a good message in some aspect because he had to humble himself. He's like, I'm not all that. Without my hands, like it's like somebody who goes on disability, they can't do what they've always done all their life. They're like, what am I now? Well, that's right there. The problem, your identity.
Your
is not-
identity is not in your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever it
And
may
he had
be.
to learn that, and he had to take it from a different source. We take it, of course, from God, not from some bald-headed, whatever that chick was.
Right. So
You saw
basically,
Doctor Strange?
yes.
Yeah,
So to wrap up the show, our
Yeah.
identity is in who?
Christ Jesus.
Right.
Yeah,
Our value comes from who?
Christ Jesus.
So no matter what value we think we place upon ourselves,
Yeah,
it all points back to
to Christ.
amen.
Yeah,
So, I mean, no matter, we've been given one shot at this thing.
yeah, that's right.
Let's do it right, and let's stop playing God ourselves and
Yes.
trying to dictate the outcome.
That's right. Well, very well said, guys. Thank you so much. This has been a great show. We are
We ran a little over tonight because we started a little late tonight.
going to get the bugs worked out.
Yes.
We're going to get the phone thing going
Get the
on.
phone fixed. We're going to get our glitching fixed.
If we get the chip, we can really fix
We're
things
going to
quicker.
get Kenny fixed.
We're gonna get me fixed. Yes, yes. I'll be talking to you through my brain soon. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for watching the Ken and Mike Show. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Follow
Eastern
us.
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Follow us on all the social media outlets. We can be found. Share us with your friends.
We'll
see you
see you
next
next week.
Tuesday. God bless.
The Ken and Mike Show.